Hello, boys and girls. Welcome back to Pantoland with your sometimes host, David Herzog. Today is the first proper day of my audio blog entries of my time playing the Emperor in Aladdin at the Blackburn Empire Theatre this Christmas. Now, at the time of recording, we are thoroughly ensconced in the rehearsal process. I've been having a fantastic time. It's a fantastic production. And at this point now, I've had the chance to meet the rest of the cast who sadly couldn't be at our promo event back in October, as well as more of the creative team and backstage crew. Today's entry will take you deep into our rehearsal process with exclusive audio recordings of the rehearsals themselves, as well as interviews with some of the team. But of course, before we do that, let's take a step back, get ourselves a bit of background here. The pantomime version of Aladdin follows the basic plotline of the original Arabian Nights tale, with the traditional pantomime elements thrown in, of course. Evil villain needs magic lamp. Inside said lamp contains a powerful genie, and only the pure-hearted Aladdin can retrieve it. The company website goes further to explain that Aladdin, his hapless brother Wishy-Washy, and of course his mother Widow Twanky are on a spectacular adventure featuring a beautiful love story, the incredible flying carpet, a wish-granting genie, an evil sorcerer, and a magical lamp packed full of spectacular family entertainment. And that is pantomime in a nutshell, of course. So with that bit of information lovingly planted in your holiday heads, let's now lift the curtain and take a peek and see how rehearsals are going. In these excerpts, you'll hear one of the scenes featuring Wishy-Washy, the comic lead, and also finally, for good measure, our resident PC Ping and PC Pong can be heard rehearsing the very famous Who's On First routine, and we'll see how they're getting along with that. Into Pantoland we go together. Everybody hold hands, climb onto the carpet, and away we go.
Right, are we all sitting comfortably? Good, and I shall begin the story of Aladdin.
I just had a really good idea. How would you lot like to be in the Wishy-Washy fan club? I said, would you like to be in the Wishy-Washy fan club? Yeah! Brilliant! Every new member gets a £20 Thomas Cook voucher. So, happy days! Happy holidays. Yeah, I'm enjoying that. Right, so what we're going to do, every time I come out, I'm going to shout, "What's up, Wishy-Roos?" And you're going to go, "What's up, Wishy-Washy?" Have you got that? I said, have you got that? Yeah! You're going to say, "What's up, Wishy?" And you can make a W like that. Or you make a W like that, or if you're from Burnley, just wave. Right, we're going to give it a go. Here we go. Did you get that, love? You all right? Ready? Here we go. What's up, Wishy-Roos? What's up, Wishy-Washy? Now, you got to be more street, bruv. Yeah? Let's do it again. Here we go. What's up, Wishy-Roos?
What's up, Wishy-Washy?
Wicked! You're in the Wishy-Washy fan club now. Woo, yeah!
The new recruits? Now.
Yeah.
We must hold an identity parade.
Oh, we could always use the new police recruits. We've been given the job of training these new recruits.
Are you going to be their teacher?
I certainly am.
Well, if you're going to be their teacher, then you must know all of their names.
I certainly do.
Oh, well, very good. For I've never met them before in my life, so you shall have to teach me all of their names, and then I shall know who will be working alongside us.
I certainly shall.
Pardon?
Granted, I shall tell you their names, but you know, it seems to me that new police recruits have mighty strange names now.
What funny names?
Strange names like Ivor caught you.
Oh, I knew his brother. Paul the other one.
And his sister, anything you do say.
Well.
Now, let's see if I can remember. We've got who stood on first, what stood on second, I don't know on third.
And that's what I want to find out.
Well, I say who's on first, what's on second, I don't know on third.
Are you their teacher?
I am.
So you're going to learn them everything about being in the police?
Yes.
And you don't know their names?
Yes, I do.
Well, go on then. Who's on first?
Yeah.
The fella's name.
Who?
The first police recruit.
Who?
The guy on first.
Who?
That guy there.
Who's on first?
That's what I'm asking you. Who's on first?
That's the man's name.
Whose name?
Yeah.
Well, go on then. Tell us.
It's it.
That's who?
Yeah.
PC Paul. Let's keep this simple.
Certainly.
Who is standing there?
That's right.
Well, whose name will be on his wage check?
Yeah, but sometimes he might get paid in cash.
Well, who will pick up the cash?
Yeah, but sometimes his wife may come down and collect it.
Whose wife?
Yeah. What's wrong with that?
Look, when he signed up to the police, how did he sign his name?
Who?
That guy.
Who?
How did he sign it?
That's how he signs it.
Who?
Yeah.
PC Pong, all I'm trying to ask is what's the name of the fella standing first in line?
No, what's standing second in line?
I'm not asking who is second.
Who stood first?
One person at a time.
Well, don't change the recruits around.
I'm not changing anybody.
Take it easy, Ping.
Right. All I'm asking is, who is standing first in line?
That's right.
Okay.
All right.
So what's the name of the fella standing first in line?
No, what stood second?
I'm not asking who is second.
Who is stood first?
I don't know.
And she's on third. We're not talking about her.
How did I get to third in line?
Why, you mentioned her name.
Oh, well, if I mentioned the name of the third recruit, then who did I say is standing third in line?
Who is standing first?
I'm not asking what stood first.
No, what stood second?
I don't know.
And she's on third.
There I go back to third again. Oh, honestly, PC Pong.
And now, folks, it's time to meet some of the actual cast members of this production. After having met Ian Fox, Ella Holt, Michael Loftus, and Catherine Lunny at our promo event, I was then ecstatic to meet the rest of the cast on the first day of rehearsals, including Chloe Carrington, who is playing our title character of Aladdin. We also have Simon Relf, who is playing the evil Abanazar. And rounding off the company, we also have Callum Arnott, who's playing Wishy Washy. I had the pleasure of first speaking one-on-one with Chloe, our Aladdin, to hear her views on the rehearsal process. We're chatting to Ms. Chloe Carrington. Hello, welcome to the program.
Hello.
And you are playing the title character,
Aladdin.
How
yes,
exciting.
I know, very exciting.
Have you been enjoying the process so far?
Absolutely loving the process, yeah, because this is the first time I've done panto in like a stationary theatre. I've done touring pantos before, but this is the first time I've been stationary in a theatre and also in my hometown, which is nice.
So yeah, you're from this area originally then?
Yes, I grew up round here. My grandma literally lives up the road. I've just been for a coffee with her before I came to rehearsal.
Lovely.
So yeah, I grew up around here. I support the local football team that is down the road, and yeah.
And so it'll be nice to have lots of family and friends potentially coming and seeing the show, which is great.
Yes, my family are very excited. Although they are all like, "You're playing Aladdin?" I don't understand that. Isn't Aladdin a boy? But I'm like, it's panto. Principal boy traditionally is played by a female, so it's a bit of a different thing. But I'm excited. It's good.
Now, how much panto have you done up to this point, and how familiar are you with it as a performer?
So, as a performer, I'm not overly familiar with the whole process.
Okay.
I've only done 2 pantos before, and they were touring pantos. One was Little Red Riding Hood, and one was another children's kind of play. But yeah, I've not done that much panto at all. Studied it at college and things like that, but it's quite a new performance thing for me. I watched it a lot as a child. I grew up going to a panto every single year, so I've watched it a lot, but performing it is a very different story.
And what is it about performing it in this rehearsal process that you've enjoyed the most?
I think seeing myself pick things up so quickly.
Yeah.
I mean, I actually walked in and I didn't realise how quickly we were going to hammer through the script.
Right.
And we had it all set in 3 days, and I think my head kind of exploded a little bit. And then I went, oh, no, Chloe, you can do this. You can do it. You can.
Yeah.
And then I thought to myself, if I can do this, I can do anything, because that was the fastest rehearsal process ever.
Yeah. But it's proof that you can get it done.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people, I've had people in the industry who say, oh, we only have a month. Oh, how are we going to get this done in a month? And then we come and do something like this, and it's like, we can do it.
I can do it. Oh, if anyone gives me a 3-week rehearsal period ever again, I'll be like, yes, please, brilliant, can't wait.
Heaven, breathing room, this is great. So conversely, what's been, I mean, you might give me the exact same answer, but what's been the trickiest part of this process for you so far?
I think the trickiest part is obviously thinking of playing a boy, because I know females do play principal roles quite a lot. Aladdin is very rarely played by a girl, though, I believe.
Yeah.
But it's finding the balance between everybody knowing that you are a female in the audience, but also knowing that you are Aladdin, and at the end of the day, you're the one that saves the princess and then ends up marrying the princess at the end.
Yeah.
So it's making sure that the audience do understand that you are a boy, even though you're in over-the-knee boots and fishnets and shorts and a long blazer. So, yeah. I like to do a good physical warm-up and get a lot of like energy. I like to get the blood flow going. I just like to get myself in that mood. I like to listen to music and things like that. And a lot of people like to focus and be quiet and really focus in, but I'm more of a get the blood flow going, get some energy, and I get quite excited. So I like to get really excited
Particularly
for
for
it.
something like this. If you want the energy levels up, you want to
especially
get up and
because the kids want you to have so much energy as well, and you need the energy to keep up with the kids' energy. So
Chloe, that's brilliant. Thank you so much for being on the program. We'll catch up with you later on in the run.
Can't wait.
Next up, we hear from Callum Arnott on what it's like to play a comedic character in a pantomime. Howdy, folks. We're now speaking with Mr. Callum Arnott. Is that how you say your name?
That'll do. I love it.
American
The American
accent,
accent. Yeah. You roll that R a little bit, don't you? Yeah. Just to give it
Arnott.
that. Yeah. It almost makes you feel like I'm a movie star already. You go like, Arnott. I always imagine myself sometimes as like, when you sort of imagine what it would be like if your name was spoken by one of those, the
movie voiceover guys.
Movie voiceover guys. Yeah.
He came to take over New York.
Arnott. He is wishy-washy. Is your drum full?
That's a perfect intro right there.
Yeah, that'll do.
Callum, thanks for being on the program. So you've been with Pendle Productions for... How many years have you been working with these guys?
I do have to kind of work it out each year and think about it quite hard. It's 17th year since I've worked with Pendle. I haven't done 17 in a row with Pendle. I did a couple of years of Panto away from Pendle.
Sure, yeah.
But it was 17 years ago was the first one. And ironically, the first one I ever did was Aladdin.
Amazing.
But I wasn't wishy-washy that year. My first ever job for Pendle was playing the genie.
Oh, cool.
In Aladdin. But that was my first time. But after that, it's been playing the comic ever since.
Okay.
So, apart from last year, which is the first time I played Baddie. But generally speaking, for whatever that is, 15 years I've been playing comic.
Tell us a bit more about your particular character, Wishy-Washy, and also sort of tell us the process that you go through to bring comedy into a pantomime in particular, which is so much different. There'll be some similarities to doing comedy on stage in general, but particularly for pantomime, what's your process?
Yeah, it's a very unique thing, Panto, pretty unique to the UK as a whole.
Yeah.
I know a friend of mine has tried to bring it to the US. I don't know how successful that was, but it is very unique in that sense. So I've worked a lot in comedy, and I work a lot in street theatre work. So performing sort of extraordinary characters out in the street, and elements of that will be brought in. So I'll bring in elements of lots of different comedy styles, from whether it's kind of word-based comedy stuff or physical-based comedy in the street. I'll bring elements of that all into Panto.
Yeah.
So going back to Wishy-Washy himself, often people say to me when they haven't seen Panto, they say, "You're doing Aladdin."
Yeah.
So who are you playing? And I'm saying Wishy-Washy. They go, and they always think of the Disney.
Of
and
course.
They go,
Yeah.
So I don't remember a Wishy-Washy. And I say, well, this is Panto. So with Panto, you've got stock characters.
Yeah.
And these are all taken from the Italian commedia sort of fashion. So where you have these stock characters.
And he's more like the Zani character. I would assume if you know your commedia.
If you're up on your commedia dell'arte, then yes, I think that yes, yeah, it's there are mixes of different ones, but it's still the feel of it being stock characters. Mm-hmm. So whenever you come and see a Panto, whatever story it happens to be based around, what you're seeing is you're coming to see those characters. You're coming to see the dame.
Yeah.
You're coming to see. There's a comic. There's always a baddie. There's always a hero. There's always a princess. There's always a bumbling old fool, whatever it happened to be. I look at you directly in the eyes when I say this.
Thank you. You're sweet.
Yeah. Whether he happens to be the alderman or the emperor or the king.
Yeah.
So you've got those stock characters, and I think for me, what I enjoy about it, because Panto, let's get real here, it does get a bad name. It does get a bad press in some areas of the industry. Mm-hmm. Because some people don't treat it as a bit of a paycheck. Mm-hmm. Some celebrities, in inverted commas, come along and say, it's a time to make some money, I'll just turn up, say the lines and get off stage. But if you really treat it for what it traditionally is about, then it's hard work, and it's and as a lot of people say, comedy is a very serious business. You've got to work hard at it, and that's why I like to stay playing that same character. Some people, don't you get bored just playing the same character? I refine it year after year. I bring nuance to it. I bring different aspects to it each year. And also the audiences that come back, they want to see you doing this part. They want to see that there becomes a relationship between you and the audience year after year as well. So putting all those factors together means that I have been working as a comic for a long time, but shaping it and moulding it and making it tighter and better, and each time I do it, and I'm now hard pressed to give it up.
Amazing.
which I might have to at some point because it's getting harder and harder to give the same amount of energy to
Sure.
it.
Yeah. No, I get that.
I feel like I still feel like I can give the same amount of energy that I did 17 years ago, but it becomes harder to recover.
Mm-hmm.
The recovery time is longer for me now.
Sure.
So the dressing room sort of malaise after a show, and it's just that sort of, I've just come back more tired, which is only natural, but
Mhm.
you know, try to keep fit. So I think that's that's how I'd sort of talk about Wishy-Washy and how I talk about comics in general. It's about playing a very, very important role in panto, because often they don't cover a lot to do with the story. You can
Right.
get through the story with ignoring Wishy-Washy
Yeah.
pretty much. But it's an important vehicle for the comedy, which is a massive part of panto.
Callum,
Yeah,
thank you so much for being on the program today.
Thank-
We'll catch up with you after we hit opening night.
Good. Well, I look forward to being a part of this again. Thank
Thanks
you very
again.
much.
Bye-bye. Last but not least, we have a chat with Michael Loftus, who plays not only PC Pong, but also plays our magical genie with some very special effects. And let's hear what he has to say about that process. I'm talking to Mr. Michael Loftus. Howdy, fella. Welcome to the program.
Howdy, thank you for having me.
Looking very fashionable today, as always.
Thank you, one tries. Not often succeeds, but he tries, so...
Like Callum, you're a bit of a veteran with the group as well, aren't you?
Yeah, I've done productions for Pendle a couple of times now, so I was here last year doing Peter Pan.
Right.
And then a few years off prior to that, the first job I ever did for them was the tour, because
Yeah.
Pendle tend to do a couple of tours as well. They now have a static in Wigan, but they do a little tour before that, then do that for a few weeks, but they also have one troupe that's just strictly a tour, which was what I did for them initially.
Cool. And now this time you're playing the genie.
I am indeed.
Are you
yes.
enjoying it so far?
I am, yeah. It's very, very different to what... Well, I say very different, but it is different to what I did last year, because last year I was more of the comic character.
Okay.
And not a traditional kind of comic, though, because Peter Pan was what they did last year, which was a new venture for Pendle and was focused more on the story. Still stock characters, but it wasn't... Normally with the comic you have them come up and like, hi kids, do you want to be a part of my troupe sort of thing, and the character that I was playing last year didn't do that, whereas this year the genie is still a comic character, but he's not as in your face high energy with that. He's just I've made him a little bit sassier, or I've tried to anyway.
And you've got a lot of some high-tech elements to your part. Do you want to divulge a little bit of that, or do you not want to give any of that away quite soon?
No, I'm happy to give that away. I'm on a Segway this year, so motorised mode of transport.
I think we call them hoverboards at the moment in the US.
I think
even though they have nothing to do with hoverboards, I don't know why they're called that. Segway. It's like a handlebarless Segway. Is basically what it is.
So I don't have the handlebar to help me this time. I've never ridden one before, so that's been a baptism of fire, learning that very quickly, but I unicycle as well, so...
So you've been adjusting to the Segway very nicely, I have to say. You look like a pro at the moment.
Thank you.
And you know, best wishes and not actually breaking your leg on the Segway. But you also got some magic tricks that you were learning as well. Well, a magic trick at the very least.
Yes.
And they've had a professional magician come in and help you with that. How's that been?
Again, a bit of a baptism of fire. Never really did magic beyond being 11 years old, and the whole, like, I think it's like a little ball of fluff that disappears inside of a cup. Literally, that was the last time I touched anything sleight of hand. So it was really fun, and the magician was very, very patient with me yesterday, which was really appreciated, because me as a person, I'm very much a perfectionist, and I don't want to get frustrated with myself when there's something that I'm not used to, and then end up taking that out on the person that's teaching it to me. I just want to stay level-headed and just I very much just want to power through it, and I think he kind of appreciated that yesterday. It was like, okay, cool, no, we'll just get on with it. So that was really fun. I don't think it's something I'm going to be able to add to my Spotlight CV immediately. I think I'm still very much going to be a novice as a magician, but it was very, very fun, and fingers crossed it all looks as fantastic as he made it out to be. So.
Well, so far it does. Like I said, I caught you guys at the tail end because I saw you start, and then I came back in the room after he had finished working with you, and it looked phenomenal to me, and it can only get better from there. So well done.
Thank you.
Cool. Michael, thank you so much for being on the program. We'll catch up with you again after opening night.
I will see you after opening night.
On our next visit, I will be reporting to you live from opening night with interviews from more cast and creatives and reactions from our first public performances. And if you happen to be in the Blackburn or Greater Manchester area this Christmas and would like to book tickets for this production, you can do so by visiting the website blackburnempire.com. That's blackburnempire.com, but act fast because many of the performances are already sold out, as it's only for the Christmas season, naturally. So get those tickets while you can if you're in the lovely northern area of merry old England. Who knows, you may even bump into me. Thanks for listening to this week's audio blog, folks. We will see you soon at the theater. Until then, bye-bye.